Hello, welcome to the channel, That Logical Trader. This is a review video and a midweek review of the week currently that we are at. Today is January 7th, 2025, and for the week starting on 6th of January until the 10th of January. So without further ado, let's get into the chart. So here we're looking at a weekly chart of micro NASDAQ NQH 2025 futures contract. It's almost similar if you're looking at the mini or the micro. We're looking at the micro here, and I want you to take a look, maybe pause the video and identify some of the key things that you can identify before I put the lipstick on. So now I'm gonna unhide the drawing. So this is what I have here on a weekly. So this was the bearish fair value gap, which we inverted, and we are grinding higher and higher, and we had another weekly bullish fair value gap, and now we are working inside that. So now we're looking at a month or so. The 4 candle makes a month. So we're looking at almost 3 months worth of price action in here. So here, quickly, you would see with the lipstick that I have here, the weekly low that was created on the week of 16th December. We took that last week, and then we rallied higher, and this is the week that we are in right now. We already took this liquidity. We'll see that on the daily, but I just want you to make note of that as we dive into the daily chart next. So all the levels that we have here, we're going to transpose that into the daily 4-hour, and then finally we're going to go to a 15-minute to frame the idea or the trading idea that you might have for the next day. Now looking at daily right here, so we're gonna zoom out a little bit to see that same weekly fair value gap. It was that we worked our way through and got up until the daily bearish order block, and we started rolling lower. And so what I have here, this right here, as we go, so this is NASDAQ, we go to ES, so that's divergence. The ES did not take that low, whereas NASDAQ did. So this is ES. Take a closer look at this, and then I'm gonna put NASDAQ back on. So this is NASDAQ. So we already took that low and went up onto the daily bearish fair value gap. That was Monday, yesterday. We were looking at that, and we were expecting this kind of reaction, and we're looking lower to make it clear until we see something significant in price that tells otherwise. My bias is bearish going into the week, and now we're looking, after this we're looking at the 4-hour. So what I have here is the range, the dealing range. So the dealing range, we have this high and we have this low, and on 4-hour what I have here is the fair value gap, which we are going to be using to frame the narrative and bias. So during this move, the only significant 4-hour fair value gap was this. We did not take that last week, left that unmitigated, untouched, and then Monday we opened Sunday and we started rallying higher. Monday we started displacing lower, and now what we have here is today's price action. So this is kind of like the review video of what I was looking at before the week started and what happened up until now, which is Tuesday, and right now the time is almost a minute and 20 seconds to midnight. So this is the 4-hour chart. Take a closer look at the inefficiencies and liquidities, and most of the talking thing we're going to be doing on a 15-minute. Here we are going to be looking at the price more closely to see what it did and what it could do next. So this was today, and we're going to be talking about yesterday, and today we're going to be referencing a day before. So this was yesterday. We opened at 9:30. We rallied higher. This was also the higher top end of the daily bearish fair value gap high. We started displacing lower, and during that we only had one 15-minute fair value gap. We don't have any other fair value gap. So I'm going to zoom in on that a little bit to give you a clear context of why do we look at certain things. Now we started displacing lower, left that fair value gap, and for a second I'm gonna point out one another thing. So this is relative equal lows that we created before the market even opened. 9:15 we started dropping lower and created relative equal low and started displacing lower. So that was another reason we were looking at shorts, and this fair value gap added the confluence and started displacing lower, but it did not take that. It left that untouched 3 p.m. and it started rallying higher and squeezing against the sellers. So Tuesday, today, we went up into that same fair value gap, 15-minute fair value gap. It's not the first time and won't be the last. So you'll see this pretty repetitively. So we came there at 9:30 today, started displacing lower, and then we had news today at 10, and at that news candle we just slammed lower. So this right here, so what we're looking at is what I'm looking at for tomorrow. We have 8:15 a.m. ADP non-farm employment news. I don't care too much about the news, but I just know it's there. It's a red folder news. We have 8:30 a.m. unemployment claims, and we have another 2 p.m. FOMC meeting minutes. So those are 3 red folder news. So with that, what I'm looking at is we have this unmitigated 15-minute fair value gap, which is open. We don't necessarily need to get up there, but if we do and we get some kind of reaction, we'll try to see if we can get something out of that. So I have this one here. This is another area of interest. This was that move that took the liquidity. So that weekly low that was engaged, we started displacing lower and took that liquidity, and then we came inside of this 15-minute, which was bearish fair value gap. We accumulated this consolidation, and then we started displacing higher and higher and higher until we reached that objective. So now, as you can see, have this premium and discount. So this is the high end of premium and this is the low end of discount, and this is equilibrium, and we were way above in premium and we started displacing. So that was a good sell idea. So now we started displacing and got below the equilibrium, which is right here, chopped in a little bit and then came down. The price action was a little bit spotty in the afternoon, like mid afternoon, like lunch session, but it got a little bit better in the PM delivery, and we got some kind of move in there, and then it went almost close to that inverted fair value gap here, and then it started grinding higher again, and right now it's 12:03. So here we are. So now what I'm looking at is these are some clean lows here, the engineered sell side liquidity. So I'm looking at this 4-hour fair value gap. If we don't get too much animated to the upside and started displacing lower from here, then I would go with the mindset that okay, we don't need to get up here. But as we have 8:15, 8:30 and 2 p.m. news tomorrow, there's a lot of manipulation probably that's going to happen. So most likely not going to be touching the AM session. We'll be working out and working on some other stuff. But if I do get something, I'll be light tomorrow with expectation. It would be better if I could get up here and then try to write it down here and eventually below this. That's my target. So that's pretty much it for this one. And going on to this week, I'm looking bearish. But also on daily, I wanted to point something out real quickly before. So this candle, I'm paying close attention here. We haven't quite got into that yet on NASDAQ, but we did on ES. So if we do get this support here, and I was saying if something changes, right? So what is that if? If we do get below here, then we get strong rejection from here, and we start displacing higher, and then grinding higher, then I would stay sidelined, meaning I wouldn't be expecting a low resistance liquidity run to the downside. But that's only if we get down here and then start displacing higher. But if we don't, I expect us to keep slowly grinding lower, or it could be quick and sudden as we have ES trying to get to the objective right here. So that's the only thing. Until that happens, I'm looking bearish. So this is it for this video. We try to keep it short, within like 10 minutes or so. And I'll see you with another follow-up, most likely tomorrow. And we have the day after tomorrow, 9th of January, is the market closer in morning of Jimmy Carter, the 39th president of the United States. So we don't have stock market trading that day. So tomorrow most likely would be a big range day, and then we have the market close, and then we have the NFP on Friday. So I definitely think we can get up here, but if we don't, that changes things, and we'll see what happens, and then we'll adapt accordingly. But this is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's That Logical Trader. Subscribe below, hit that bell icon, and stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one.